Kentucky. I'm at 8253 Heatherwood Drive in Florence, Kentucky, doing a sanitary lateral inspection for the purchase of a home. We're looking for any structural issues, root intrusion, anything concerning for the buyer. The access location is a PVC stack in the rear right corner of the basement in the unfinished area, just inside the doors as you come through from the bar area. Should be PVC based off the age, should be PVC all the way out to the main. And hopefully it's smooth sailing the whole way out. I don't have anything to report. So, it said it should be PVC all the way out. You can see kind of this is probably carrying the kitchen line too. If you kind of notice on the side there, it kind of looks like that white area. That's actually grease. Could also be coming from the laundry. A lot of people don't realize that liquid fabric softener actually has a lot of grease in it, and it can actually build up. And so it's not uncommon to have this coming down the kitchen line just because of even just washing off dishes. But this is why you don't dump grease down your line, because eventually, instead of it just being leaving a channel in the middle, you can have it can build up enough to cause a blockage. So just a word to the wise. I'm actually pushing some of it down. But yeah, the sink lines are usually the most dirty once you get out past the tie-in to like the main line. It usually clears up a lot when you start seeing more of the bathroom stuff lines coming through, because it gets rinsed out a lot easier. Now there's nothing wrong obviously structurally, but it does kind of look like there's been a lot of grease go through this line. And you can see how much I'm scraping up with my camera, and so it'll help clean the line out a little bit, I guess, but it just kind of gets on the front of the camera, so I'm probably going to have to run some water here. There we go. I'm going to try to keep the lens clean. Either way, when you pull back, it's usually a lot easier to keep the lens clean, because when you push out, it kind of plows up in front, plows through it, and kind of pushes it up in front of the lens like that. So it's pretty common for that to happen, but on the way back, as long as you can get the lens clear on the way back, as you pull, obviously it's a lot less likely for you to have that buildup on the lens. But we also like to run water on the way back, also just to kind of watch the line function. Make sure that there's no issues. I know there has been some water run recently. They are in the middle of the home inspection, and so if that was the case, that water should build up in the area if there's any low spots. It's not uncommon to find some minor ones, but just so you know that is an easy way to tell. So it looks like there's a connection on the top there, so that means there is a clean out. And at 63 feet, I don't know if this is out in the yard. I think it is. You can see the line dropping off, and that is usually either an indication of where the line leaves the house or where it's connected to. They connected it when the developer had put in a line, but this looks to me like we have just left the house. There may be 60 feet of line kind of going across the front of the house. And we are dropping off again. So far the line is looking really, really good. Looks like we dove a lot, and this is what I was talking about. This green is, it's still PVC, but this is, they call this SDR 35. The white stuff is Schedule 40. It's two different, basically it's just two different grading systems or two different standards that they use. Basically for interior and exterior piping, but they use this stuff only for the sewer mains, and then they run the lines up onto the property before they onto the lots before they actually build the houses. And then when they build the houses, they run that white Schedule 40 out and connect onto it. That's why when you ever go buy a brand new development, usually before the even roads are there, you'll see little green pipes sticking up out of the ground. That's the sewer laterals that they connect onto when they build the houses. We are out a long way already. Hopefully I don't run out of stick here. We're out of 35 feet. I've only got 150 on here. So I'm going to pause the video for a second, go run some water. It's going to probably help me get the camera out a little further. Okay, we got the water running. It should take a minute for it to get down here to the camera since we are out 130 feet. I'd be a little surprised if we get out, if we don't hit the main by 150 feet, but oh no! Somebody just flushed the toilet, I think. Okay, luckily they did it. I think they did it downstairs or in a different stack, but I heard it. So luckily it didn't come down the stack. It had me worried. The side of the pipe is obviously open, so and there's the water. So to continue trying to push here, hopefully we can get out. Hopefully we come up to the main here in the next couple feet. Yep, we're going to run out of stick here, I think. Yep, sure. So, I'm going to have to pause the video and see where we are and locate exactly where it is, but it's because the line zigzags through the interior of the house for 60 feet before it exited. We don't have access to the other floor clean out. It looks like it's been covered with flooring, which happens a lot. And so we'll have to see, but I'm going to go check to see, make sure we're off the property and how close we are to the main. Okay, so we are actually within about 5 feet of the main. It is across the street, just past the curb, up on the edge, like in the easement between the sidewalk and the road. We are almost right at the curb. You can pretty much see to the connection. It's just hard to see because it's just off in the distance. But even if there was something in that last like 3 feet that or 2 feet maybe that you can't see, it's not the responsibility. I feel comfortable that I can see all the way to the main from here. And obviously there's no buildup of the water or anything while we're pushing it. But yeah, we're within a couple feet and it's way off the property. So I have no concern whatsoever for the line past this point. Like I said, it's only about maybe 2 feet or something that is just enough to where you can't see with the light of the camera. But the main is right there. And then as we pull back, we'll obviously witness the water as it flows down through the line, and again would highlight any spots that are low. But if you look at the side of the pipe, and you can see kind of the flow line. That you can tell that the water level never gets above, not even halfway up the side of the pipe. It looks pretty low. Everything looks really good on the way out. I don't expect to see anything as we pull back that's going to give me any concern. And hopefully running all this water will help flush out that sink. All the stuff you can see, some of the stuff going by as I pull back, it's just kind of knocking that mold or whatever off the edges of the pipe and flushing it on down. Camera maybe 3/4 of an inch to an inch off the bottom of the pipe. And you can see the water level's not getting anywhere near the lens. So this is exactly what you want to see. Nice pitch, a nice fall, so that all the water escapes uniformly and all the connections look nice and tight. They all look like they're in really good shape. No root intrusion. So I believe that this, right up here at the top of this dive, I believe it was right around in here maybe. Maybe a little bit less. I think it was around in the 60s, like we were talking about before. Like, it's probably right after the line either leaves the house or right before it leaves the house. There's normally a clean out install. So it's probably right before it exits the house. There's a connection right here on top, underneath, right there, and that would be the clean out in the floor. So there's roughly 60 feet of pipe before we exited. So it kind of zigzags through the basement floor. So you don't need access to that now, but if there is ever a situation where you have a soft clog from somebody flushing something they shouldn't, you know that there is one in the front of the house in the floor somewhere. If it can't be addressed through this clean out, you'll easily find it with the camera. Spot in here where the camera is a little cloudy and stuff, and we're pushing all that grease and stuff through, but looks like all that stuff is coming loose. But we're back past the connection where that sink is. So, but once we run some water upstairs in the kitchen and the whatever other fixtures it is in it comes down this branch. Flush all this loose stuff right out. So actually it'll help clean this up a little bit. of stuff on the front of this camera that needs to be there we go. Get something. Clean a little bit of this up, but at any rate, the line itself looks really good. Structurally, there's no issues at all. Again, it has a little bit of grease in it, which is normal for the kitchen lines, but just something to kind of watch out for. Make sure you're not putting much grease down there. But the line itself looked wonderful. Didn't see any defects at all. Nothing of any concern. And so nothing to really report. So that's gonna end the inspection at 8253 Heatherwood Drive in Florence, Kentucky.